Sawadika, good morning everyone. My name is Sam. Today I'll be giving a presentation about a cross-cultural analysis that I did on my restaurant Enchelon. So these are the topics that I'll be covering for today. Firstly, I'll give you a brief introduction of what my company is and how it works. Nextly, I will tell you about the economies and the economic system in the country I operate in and in the country I'm going to move to. Next up, I'm going to tell you the political strategies that I came up with to overcome some challenges in the future and the nature of culture of Thailand and US, and the four dimensions that I handpicked myself which I think is the most impactful for my MNC. So let's get started. What is Enchelon? Enchelon is a French word that stands for a higher level of rank in organization or profession. So essentially, that means that my Enchelon is the next level of restaurant in the restaurant world. We work in the industry of the ultra luxury dining. That means our ingredients, our chef, our staff are all top notch, and it's a subscription based dining, which is different than your normal dining because you would go to the restaurant, order some food, pay for the food, and then you would leave. But then here, you pay once for the month, and throughout the whole month, you're free to use the restaurant's facility anyhow you like. So our current headquarters is in Manhattan, New York. It's a trendy uh, lively neighborhood with a good amount of tourists. And the country we're planning to move to is Thailand, Bangkok, which I would say is relatively different compared to the work culture and how everyone operates their daily life. So let's take a look. First off, let's go with the global economic system. US is a free market system, which means private ownership, and a private ownership is protected and encouraged. Some positive aspect is that businesses are free to set their own price, regardless if the consumers are buying or not. They have a strong intellectual property protection, which means we can copyright our trademarks, our logo, and no one else can copy them. Some negative aspect is that it's really, really pricey to start up and operate a restaurant, any business in New York City, and limited government support during natural disaster like earthquake or tsunamis. Next up, we have Thailand. It's still free market system, but with a little bit of government involvement in key sectors like agriculture, energy, and infrastructures. Some positive aspect is that the Thai government really supports tourism and food and beverage. They would build big malls to attract tourists. They would promote tourism campaigns. It's also very, very low cost compared to New York when it comes to operating a business in Thailand, and even has a higher margin for profit as well. Some negative effect is that foreign ownership of business can get really, really difficult and tricky from time to time. And that due to Thailand's politics not being stable, new policy and rules are implemented very, very often and fast. Next up, we have the emerging and developing economies. United States. United States was also a member of WTO since 1995. It promotes global access to US, and as you know, NYC residents and tourists have more disposable income, therefore supporting luxury brand and fine dining. And for Thailand, it's also a WTO member since 1955. In fact, it's also a member of the group ASEAN, which promote regional trade and investment throughout Southeast Asia countries. Thailand is also very rich in natural and cultural resources, like they're a top exporter of of fruits, of seafood and rice, which more help Enchelon even more. And Thailand is also located under China and above India, which I think is one of the best location because it has a gateway to two of the most biggest markets. And as I said earlier, it's fairly cheaper to operate a business in Thai compared to in US. So, as you know, I mentioned earlier, Thailand's politics are not stable currently, so we have came up with some strategies that could help us overcome some obstacles in the future. I will just give you a politic context first. US is known for its democracy and freedom of speech, while Thailand is still going the monarchy style, which is still the king and queen style. So I've come up with 5 strategies. I'll go through them in details one by one. Number one, collaborate with authorities and industry group. Sorry, as you know, regulation around food imports, health inspection, or foreign chef permits can be difficult. So it's important to build strong relationship with the government department. If it's in Thai, maybe with the Thai FDA, the Ministry of Tourism and Sports, the Department of the Business Development. This help Enchelon us stay ahead of changes in import duties, or even maybe we can get faster approval for premium ingredients. Same goes for New York City. We can join the NYC Hospitality. We can join the Restaurant Association. We can stay ahead of the rules. We can even help shape policy for a fine dining restaurant like us. We can join in the conversation to decide what happens to a restaurant like us. So essentially, we're making decision for ourselves. Secondly, support local communities and sustainability. Being a good corporate citizen goes a long way. Enchelon can partner with local organic farms. We can support sustainability projects. We can even sponsor culinary students. Sourcing local seafood, seasonal produce not only wins customer appreciation, but also shows the regulator and investor that we are actually supporting the Thai economy. And for New York City, they show it in a different way. They show their support to the local community by giving fair wages. They have the sustainable packaging. They do inclusive hiring, which build trust with the customer and the city authorities. Inclusive hiring is when a company hires people from many different backgrounds, so it seems diverse and cross-cultural. Next up, we have to keep an eye on the policy changes. As you know, policy changes can affect maybe visa rules for foreign chef, a tax on imported goods, or new healthcare systems. We should regularly monitor such shift to avoid disruption of our operation. Example, if a new law on imported wagyu beef is introduced, we'll be ready with an alternative or just adjust the menu. While in New York, new laws can come fast as well, like new minimum wages, new tipping rules, new ingredient ban like the foie gras. We have to keep track of these changes to let us adapt early and avoid fines or any operation disruption. Next up, we have building industry alliances in the industry. What does that mean? We can team up with local hotels in Bangkok, like Four Seasons, Marriott's. We can join the tourism boards. We can even allow other high-end restaurants to have joint ventures with us, to have a joint event with us called Guest Chef, so that we can have more attention and publicity as well. While in New York, in New York, restaurants that work together have more power to speak up. So we can join networks that promotes fine dining, cultural food experiences, or even just support small food producers. Next up, which I think is the most important one of all five of them, is to be transparent and accountable. No matter what city you're in, you have to being honest and clear about our practices, whether it's how we get our ingredients, how we treat our staff, how we follow the regulation. We have to publicly share these efforts that we're doing to build long-term credibility with the both customer and the government. And next up, the nature of culture. As you can see, New York City is pattern and symbolic. Bangkok is adaptive and share. We'll go through that New York first. So pattern culture, as you have seen the word pattern, guests there expect the same luxury experience every single time that they go there. They expect consistency, they expect flawless delivery, and staff are not just trained on their technical skills, they're trained on body language, how to talk to people, even etiquette to create a more luxurious experience. And symbolic culture. In the New York City luxury market, people dine at restaurants like Enchelon not just for the food, but for the story, the status, and the style. Example, telling a story about sourcing a saffron for Iran or king crab from Alaska becomes a part of the experience. Guests remember the moment, they not just eat, not just for the food. A meal at Enchelon is like kind of like social currency in the New York City. People post it on social media, tag it as a part of their luxury lifestyle, associated with achievement. The brand becomes a symbol of prestige. While in Thailand, it's adaptive and share. Bangkok market is very, very big. There are many people who eat differently, very, very different style, but at the end of the day, we have to respect Thailand's cultural norms. So we have to adjust our menu, we have to adjust our food dishes according to the locals' liking, according to the locals' cooking style or their religious belief, maybe halal friendly version or no pork, less beef. Mhm. And Thai service hospitality is respectful, warm, they're polite, they're humble, they're very hierarchy aware, not like the Western style. So leadership must actually adapt their management style accordingly. They have to use less of the Western style, the aggressive style, and more of the encouragement Asian style. Next up is the shared culture. Thailand culture value community, harmony, and team spirit. So building a shared internal culture is very essential for a Thai company to work. We have to encourage cross training. We have to encourage team lunches or even department parties. Thai staff often work better when it's in tight knit group rather than when they're left alone. Enchelon, we can even host a cultural appreciation night. We could collaborate with the local artists, local chef. We can reinforce community presence and share the cultural pride. And these are the nine cultural dimensions for New York and Bangkok, as you can see. As both of them came from a very different part of the world. Essentially, all of them are different except one of them. If you could take a look at the third one, where New York is neutral and Bangkok is highly neutral. If it was the opposite, it would have been emotional. Go through them one by one. First up is universalism and particularism. New York is universalism. New York values clear rules, they value contracts, consistency. Guest expectations are based on standards, not relationships. So for Enchelon, New York, our brand should strictly enforce SOPs from reservation handling to guest complaint to dress code. If the policy says no, then no it is. So for staff, they have to know decisions are policy driven. Staff should expect fairness and clarity. They do not have much right into saying the decision. And for Bangkok, it's particularism. In Thailand, relationships and context matter more than fixed rules. So for Enchelon, like VIP, returning guests, they might expect a little bit of exception, like a little higher level of service, just because they know someone from the restaurant. So for the staff culture, managers should allow flexibility, of course, within the staff, but also ensure that it doesn't lower their job performance and also lead to favoritism, which is bias, and that could lead to conflict within the team members. Next up is individualism and communitarianism. New York individualism, staff value recognition, competition, individual rewards. So for Enchelon, we should create individual reward system like server of the month, chef of the month. We should encourage staff to bring their own idea. We should allow chef to put their name on their dish. This makes them feel proud of their job, and this is what drives them going. So for guests like this, they also expect personalized experience. They would like you to remember their name, remember what they do eat and not eat, remember what they ate last time. Well, the opposite goes for Bangkok. Teamwork and group harmony are emphasized. Individual recognition here is fairly discreet. So for Enchelon, we should focus on team-based performance bonuses. We shouldn't look at the performance based on the personal's individual KPIs. We should go look by the department. We should go the F&B group or the bar group. We should always think of them as a group. And from guests like this, they love group experiences. They like sharing meals. They like set menus. They like private dining for family, private dining for business groups. They're more in the community. And neutral and emotion. New York is moderately neutral. They're professional, yet they're allowed to express some emotions like disappointment, excitement, especially when with a guest. So for Enchelon, staff can show enthusiasm in presenting the dish. They're proud of it. They can confidently suggest wine pairing. They can handle the guest complaint assertively but respectfully. And leaders can provide direct feedback to the staff. Staff can provide direct feedback to the leader as well. While in Bangkok is highly neutral. That means emotional restrainment is the norm. You don't really show how you feel at work. Smiling through frustration, keeping composure is very culture is normal for everyone. So for Enchelon, we should A staff must express stress even under pressure, but then manager must learn how to read their body language, take the cue to avoid more guest complaint. Complaint must also be handled gently but with respect and calm. Specific versus diffuse. In specific culture, there's a clear line in between work and personal life. You do not want to overlap them together. They have clear boundaries. So for Enchelon, we allow the staff to clock out and disconnect. Their private life is there, private life stay private. And our leadership style also should focus more on achievement and task and direct evaluation. And guests like this will want privacy and efficiency. So if you see someone who's more specific culture, they do not want to talk to the guest to the server that much, as compared to diffuse in Bangkok, where personal and professional often intertwine. Your coworkers are your friends are your coworkers. So sorry. So for Enchelon, managers should actually invest in staff relationship, like remembering their birthdays, going to family events. Staff actually feel more loyal to the company when they're personally careful like that. And guests expect warm hospitality. They like the small talks, the greeting. They're essential. The experience matter as much as the service. Next, we have achievement and ascription. Status is earned through performance, expertise, and results. For New Yorker, they like achievement. So for Enchelon, we hire chef and manager based on merit and not age. Young talent is respected if they're skilled. Guests value being served by confident professional, regardless of the background. He may be from jail, but if he cook a really good meal, guests will still love the good meal just because he made a good meal. While the opposites go for Bangkok, age, title, social status, especially seniority. If you're old, that carries a lot of weight. If your coworker is older than you, and even if you're the same position in Bangkok, you have to listen to him. That's how the culture works. So for Enchelon, a young foreign manager may need to earn respect slowly from their Thai coworkers. Local staff will actually just naturally defer to senior colleagues, and promotion may be accepted based on years of serve, not on skills. Next, we have sequential and synchronous time. Sequential time. Time is money. Deadline, punctuality, and planning dominates. Seven is sharp. Not a minute late, not a minute early. So for Enchelon, we should dinner serves where we follow dinner sorry dinner services follow strict timings. Bookings, reservation, food preparation, table turnover must follow precise timing. Staff culture, punctuality is non-negotiable. If you're late, you're gone. But Bangkok is more synchronous time, where time is viewed as flexible. If someone asks you by 8 p.m., it may be 8:15, 8:30, maybe even 9. So for Enchelon, we should incorporate buffers in scheduling and adapting to this more fluid approach to the dining hours. We should have maybe 15, 20-minute gaps in between just to make sure we finish the earlier shift and we can start the new shift. Next one, we have internal and outer direction. Internal New Yorkers, they feel like they can shape their environment through planning and assertive. So for Enchelon, we encourage goal setting, we proactive marketing, innovation, launching a new seasonal menu. Managers should actually, in culture like this, managers should push for result. Ask the staff to take some risk is okay. But for the outer directional, it's a little bit different. People adapt to the external factors like social harmony, authority, and tradition. They allow the outer condition to control them. So for Enchelon, leadership should be flexible. If there's a festival or a religious ceremony, operation may need to adapt around it. If a staff is going for a religious event, we cannot say no to it. We have to learn to adapt to it. So this is the globe framework that I'll be going on right now. This is the radar map that I made for Thailand and US. As you can see, some of them are quite similar, but some of them do have each difference, and I'll go through one by one. First off is power distance. In New York, in New York, people tend to expect a even work environment. Managers are approachable, everyone's encouraged to speak up, share their ideas, feedback are straightforward and direct. So for Enchelon, we should keep the doors open. We encourage our team to join the conversation, share their ideas, what they think, and recognize their effort, no matter what their roles are. But in Bangkok, things work a little more different. In Bangkok, the respect for hierarchy is run very deep. Employees usually have to wait for permission before speaking up, to avoid conflicts. They may even avoid openly disagreeing with their bosses because seniority, as I said, is very important and communication is often more formal. So for Enchelon Bangkok, we should be clear about the roles and the titles. We should keep communications respectful and provide indirect ways for staff to share their feedback, not directly to their bosses, which will cause conflicts, like suggestion boxes or private chats. Next one is uncertainty avoidance. People in New York are generally comfortable with change or trying new things. They are willing to take risks, experiment, adapt to quickly when needed. So for Enchelon New York, we tell the staff to feel free to introduce new dishes, take their risk. We launch creative marketing ideas. We keep the menu fresh. Always try new things, new changes. But for the Bangkok, in Bangkok, folks prefer clear rules, steady routine. They like to be told what they do, when to do it. Sudden changes can make them feel uncomfortable. They do not like changes. So for Enchelon Bangkok, we should stick to well-defined procedures. We should train our stuff thoroughly, and always give them heads up when we're trying to change something big, so they know that it's going to change. Next, we have institutional collectivism. In New York, people often focus on their own goal and achievement, independence, personal success. That matters the most for them. So for New York Enchelon, reward individual performance and help our team grow in their career by recognizing their personal wins. Not just as a team, but we have to recognize them as a person, as how much they bring to our company, and we have to recognize their effort into helping the company. But in Bangkok, loyalty to the group and working together is the key. Team success usually matters more than individual glory. Even if you might be the smartest person alone, if you cannot work with the team, then you're out. So for Enchelon Bangkok, we celebrate more team accomplishment, we encourage collaboration throughout the team, and we reward group efforts, not just individual. Next, we have in-group collectivism. So in New York, work relationships tend to be more transactional. People may move between job and don't always feel deeply tied to their company. They change company whenever they feel like. So for Angela New York, we should invest in our team's growth and create a culture to encourage loyalty and for them to stay in long term with us. In Bangkok, it's very different. In Bangkok, work often feels like a second home to them. There's a strong emotional bond between co-workers. So for Angela Bangkok, we should organize team building activity. We should foster a supportive atmosphere and help staff create a sense of belonging, like they belong to the company since the start, so they don't want to quit. Next, we have gender. As you know, right now, equality between men and both women is improving and expecting us, of course, but there are still some gaps left. uh, both gender have leadership and operational roles more equally in New York than in any places. So for Angela New York, we promote diversity and inclusion hiring, which we hire from many different backgrounds. So we seem like a diverse company. But for Bangkok, traditional gender roles still influence the workplace in Bangkok. Women still often do hospitality jobs, and men mostly do more management job. This is slowly starting to change, though. So for Enchelon Bangkok, we should support gender inclusion carefully and fairly, while respecting cultural quantities, of course. Next, we have assertiveness. In New York, people speak very direct, confidently, and openly. So for New York NYC, we should encourage. I'm sorry, for Enchelon NYC, we should encourage our team to take initiative. We should speak up with confidence. We should solve the problem proactively. We should be proactive and not let the problem happen. And we should solve it before it happen. And for Bangkok, Thai people tend to be more polite, more humble, and indirect in communication. They would avoid confrontation. They would actually prefer harmony and peace. So for Enchelon Bangkok, we should help staff develop some soft communication skill, human skill. We should focus on the empathy and emotional intelligence of them, especially when dealing with guests. They should know what the guests want and how to deliver it to them. Next up is performance orientation. Results and merit matters a lot in New York. People expect continuous improvement always. So for New York Echelon, we use clear performance indicator. We use reward excellence when we maintain top service standard. When someone is doing good, we make sure we let them know that we know that they're doing good. But for Bangkok, while performance is important, again, preserving the social harmony and saving face often comes first. So for Enchelon Bangkok, balance performance feedback with positive reinforcement and relationship building. We should make sure we balance the performance feedback with positive reinforcement so that it's not too negative and makes them feel bad. Next one, we have future orientation. As you know, New Yorkers, they are very, very, not New Yorker Westerners, they are more, they look more into the future. They plan for long-term plan. Planning, setting long-term goals, investment in the future are priority for them. So for New York Enchelon, we focus on innovation, we adapt new technologies, and we build long-term guest loyalty programs. But for in Bangkok, people tend to focus more on the present and near future, not that long term. So for Enchelon Bangkok, we blend traditional with gradual innovation, and we take our time to build trust while also introducing changes. Next up, we have the humane orientation. Well, people tend to show kindness and fairness, but workplace interaction focus more on efficiency and results. So if a guest don't like how you do things, they will just say they don't like it because not to make you feel bad, but because they think there's a way that makes it faster. So for Angela New York, we encourage respectful, supportive teamwork, but also keep an eye on performance and accountability. But in Bangkok, it's quite different. Thais are known for their warmth, their generosity, their compassion, caring for others, building relationships, very important in the workplace. So for Angela in Bangkok, we foster a caring work environment. We encourage acts of kindness, supporting each other. We support employees both professionally and personally in their lives. So these are the four most impactful dimensions that I chose for my MNC. The first one I chose is power distance from the globe framework. Why I chose the power distance is because in Thai culture, strong respect for hierarchy, managers are seen as the authority, decision making is centralized, juniors avoid opposing seniors. But in New York, everyone is open. You can call the CEO with your first name. So there are some challenges that will appear. Our flat, open New York culture may be seen as disrespectful and confusing in Thailand. So I came up with some strategies to overcome that. We could use more formal communication in Thailand, adding a kun before people's name. We could hire a Thai middle management so that it act as a cultural bridge for the New York manager and the Thai staff. We can also maintain clear hierarchy roles and chain of command, so who know who's to listen to. And we can also conduct leadership trainings for New York managers to learn how to maintain the Thai staff and learn more about the Thai culture. Next up is institutional collectivism from the Globe framework as well. As you know, Thai people group harmony is essential. Employees value team decision, loyalty, and face saving. But in New York culture, individualistic performance, independence are highly valued. So the challenges come in. Strong focus on personal KPIs and aggressive individual recognition can distance Thai employee. That is not how they do it. That is not how they do it. So how do we actually adapt to this? We can celebrate our team-based achievement alongside individual cases. We could also design group encouragement with like team bonuses or department rewards. We could also avoid public criticism. Always give feedback in private with a soft tone, not like in the Western style where you just say how you feel, but then maybe bring the staff to somewhere private and then tell how you really feel. Next up is particularism from Trumpeter's framework. So in particularist cultures, rules are flexible, relationship often take priorities over standardized procedures, In Thailand behavior, business and personal relationship heavy influence decision making, Trust is built over time and contracts may be seen as a starting point, not strict rules. A Thai manager may alter company's policy slightly to help a close friend or important client. Sorry about that. And so for the suggestion for the my MNC is that we could build a passenger rapport before negotiating, so we don't rely solely on legal terms. And next we have the ascription. Ascription status is defined on base. So the ascription style status is defined based on age, social standing, not just work performance. Seniority matters. Age and title command respect. Young or lower employee, especially typically avoid questioning senior staffs. So suggestion I would say is to make sure that people know it is a culture and have to respect it. So respect the hierarchy, use polite form of addresses, and beware that public criticism may cause a loss of face. Yes. So ascription authority is based on age, seniority, and social status. Younger former managers may struggle to gain respect at first with the Thai staff. Some challenges may be that ideas from the junior staff may not even surface in the conversation. So what we could do to actually tackle that problem is that we should acknowledge that it's a culture and we have to respect it. We have to use the correct address to when addressing the senior coworker. We should encourage junior staff in private setting and not in public forum. We should give the feedback in private area as well and not public criticism. Things like this should really really help New York managers manage Thai staffs. So these are the summary of my presentation. These four. So this has come to the end of my presentation. I would like to summarize it for you. What I think is the most impactful dimension in the culture is the power distance because it affects daily workflow, trust, and respect in a whole company. And the key takeaway are that respect Thai culture norm. We have to encourage team-based. We have to drive performance with empathy and support, not just KPI and individual performances. And we have to align long-term goals with present focus values. This is my reference, and thank you so much.